All right, what up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Roots and Remedies. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Tammy, and we're glad that you're joining us here another week. We have some exciting stuff for you.
Facts. Today we're going to be talking about the gut, how to heal the gut, what the gut is, things you can drink for the gut, and the importance of the gut.
Yep, absolutely. And we are here today in our kitchen, in our home. We're welcoming you in. Okay, this is a private space, so you know you're part of the crew now. But this is where gut health starts, right in the kitchen. And so we take you here. And as hubby said, we're gonna break down what the gut is. But we have something special for you.
Facts. Also, I do want to say this episode is sponsored by Gym Rock Naturals, all things naturals. So make sure to check us out, gymrocknaturals.com, where you can get all holistic products, from all natural soaps, body butter scrubs, lip balm, you name it.
At Jamrock Naturals, we don't just sell herbs, we honor generations of healing. From our Jamaican roots to your daily routine, pure, potent, natural remedies made to help you feel your best. Real ingredients, real results, real wellness.
All right, yo, and welcome back. I also do want to say this is also sponsored by BeLikeAKing.com. Check us out there. This is actually a shirt that I'm wearing by Miguel Saint shirt.
Drop.
Yeah. So.
All right. So should we jump in?
Yeah, I think that's all. Let's get busy. So the very first question is, what is the gut?
Yep.
So these little devices right here. Listen, anything that we talk about, anything that you hear us talk about, always recommend take 2 minutes and research it. Like my wife will tell you, that's my thing. 2-minute research can expose a fool. Straight music. So I want you to take your little handy device, right? And what's what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to Google and we're gonna type in, what is the gut?
And look for credible sources, okay? Maybe not Wikipedia.
All right, babe, you want to read to them what the gut is?
All right, sure. So it says that the gut generally refers to the gastrointestinal tract known as the digestive system. It's a long winding tube that extends from the mouth to the anus and includes organs like stomach, intestines, both of small and large, and the colon. The gut's primary function is to break down food, absorb nutrients, and eliminate waste. It also houses a complex community of microorganisms, all known as the gut microbiome, which plays a vital role in overall health and well-being.
Nice. So that's your gut. You got your stomach, you got your intestines inside your gut.
And I know, let me say this. People normally say when it comes to the gut, this is the gut, right? And it's so much more than this. They call it the second brain.
And some people will argue that because they say when you're a fetus.
No, I know.
Yeah, but they say when you're a fetus, right? They say you form out of the gut. So it's the gut, and then out of the gut, the arms come out, and everything else grows out. So you have that.
It's a tomato.
Yeah, tomato.
But yeah, so the gut again is a lot more than this area. It starts literally in your mouth, and so again, the gut health starts in the kitchen, and that's why we got to be so careful of what we're eating and what we're ingesting. And I think one of the big problem is when we think about eating, we think more about pleasure and less about nutrients, less about what your body actually needs. And so, you know, we're eating a lot of fried food, a lot of processed food, a lot of salty foods, and we're not thinking down to the nutrient component of what our gut actually needs.
Thanks. And this is why it is very, very good to fast. Jesus knew what he was talking about. See, scientists have proven that when you fast, the body starts repairing itself. So when you eat heavy foods like meats and the stomach has to break down, that requires cells and blood to help the organs break the food down. when you start to fast, the blood that would usually break down food starts going to other areas of the body to start repairing the body. So it is proven, if you know, you can do your research. It is proven that when you start to fast, the body actually starts taking care of itself. So when we start eating a lot, like heavy foods, like heavy meats, that's why we try to make it our duty too fast. Like, you know, and this is not the spiritual fast to where the Bible says don't you brag about the spiritual fast, because that's
you can add the spiritual component.
You add the spiritual component, but as just being healthy human beings, fasting is very, very good. And you can start seeing people, you know, trying to take the more holistic route, because we're starting to see that the hospital is a business. It's a business.
And I'll say this too, right? If you look on historically what eating used to mean, that has changed.
Thanks.
And has adapted over time. Now, back in the old days, you used to eat meals, right? You sit and you eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or 2 times, or whatever it is. No, we actually eat for fun. We consume, you know, that frappuccino something, just because we enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm not knocking anybody's lifestyle, but moderation, because your gut needs time to reset. It needs time to excrete the stuff that your body doesn't need. And if you keep eating over time and just keep adding stuff, then you're overworking the gut.
Facts. And I heard a pastor say, I think it was on Instagram or something, he was saying that a lot of the things that we want deliverance from comes from the discipline of what we put in our mouth.
Absolutely. And put it this way, 90% of diseases and illnesses, chronic illnesses that exist today, it's a lifestyle illness.
It's a lifestyle
diabetes,
illness.
High blood pressure, all of the gut issues that you have, some migraines, all of that inflammation.
And just while we are high blood pressure, I just want to give a tip. You know, cayenne pepper is a good natural herb for high blood pressure, because high blood pressure is your veins are not pumping enough blood through. And if you look up, you do your study, like I said, do your 2-minute research. The cayenne pepper is proven by studies to be one of the best herbs for blood circulation. Yeah, so the reason I brought up cayenne pepper is because a lot of us have that in our kitchen, and that's something you can actually do right away to get, you know, start dealing with your blood flow. I do want to give a disclaimer. If you have any other ailments like ulcers, anything that can be affected by cayenne pepper, make sure to check in with your doctor.
Yep. Absolutely. And since we just spoke about a couple of symptoms, let's go into the symptoms of gut health or gut imbalance in this case. So a lot of times people are going through things and they're experiencing things and they think it's normal because they've had it for all their lives. Their mom had it, their grandma had it. It's like, you just learn to live with it. Right? But symptoms are very important alerts that your body is sending to say, hey, something is wrong, hey. So a couple red flags that will signal to you that you have either a gut imbalance or just gut issues and you probably need a reset. One is bloating. You're not meant to bloat up after every meal or to feel bloated for days on end, right? That's signaling that, hey, whether it's your microbiomes are off, or the food that you're eating is probably not the best food for you.
Another one would also be if you have a lot of gas. Gas could be another symptom that something's going on in the gut. And remember, the gut is more than just your stomach.
Absolutely. And because it's made up of, again, your small intestine and your large intestine, you know, you probably want to dive a little bit deeper. Are you actually digesting the food? Are you going to the bathroom enough consistently?
And then that's a whole, not to cut you there, but that's a whole process in itself, because that, you know, if you're not breaking food down properly, that can lead to a lot of other things. So we're gonna talk about it, get that right.
All right. Another symptom is focus. So this is one of the reasons why it's also called second brain or the first brain. Because your gut actually influences your hormones and it influences your brain. So if you're not as focused as you used to being, if you have brain fog, you just can't think clearly, that may also be a sign that your gut is off balance.
Thanks. And what we're gonna show you guys is a juice that we drink, a juice that you can drink that actually helps the gut, help you kind of reset the gut. I do recommend take some time and fast while you're juicing, like fast. Try to be on more fruits and get away from the meats, like a whole bunch of meats, because the gut and the body has to work very hard to break down heavy foods. A good sign that you ate too much is when you grubbing and you go like this. That
means you're at rest.
That means you eat. That means that's where you should stop.
Yep.
But a lot of times when we go, we dig right back in. You know what I'm saying? We gotta finish that plate. So
that's a good tip. That's a good tip.
So that's like a good indicator. Like, okay, I'm overstuffing myself.
Yep.
And things like trying not to eat
too fast,
but close to nighttime, because at night is when your body does all of its work.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the body goes into its mass repairing session.
Yep.
And well, studies showing with sleeping as well, but because look, sometimes I overwork so hard and I don't sleep. I just be out working and but I'm working on that. But sleeping is also very, very, very important for your health, because if you don't sleep properly, you really can't. Your body's not getting the time it needs to properly heal itself. So if you're eating a lot of heavy foods at night, and then you going to bed late,
right, on that heavy food,
the like I was saying earlier, the blood in the cells that are needed to start repairing other things has to focus on processing food.
So to give you some more symptoms to look out for, we spoke about bloating already. Constipation.
We spoke about gas.
Right, we spoke about gas.
Yep.
If you have any food sensitivities, meaning if you eat and your tummy is upset, that's also a signal that you gotta look out for.
All right, so let's break this down. What should you eat?
Yep. Whole, unprocessed, or as minimally processed as possible.
That's it. Hold on. It may take you a little more time in the grocery store.
And in the kitchen, but it's worth it. I promise you.
Yeah.
Because again, when you think of the gut, it's not just the feeling of being full, but are you eating nutrient dense food? Are you having enough fiber, enough vitamin C, enough iron in your food?
Facts.
That's the first thing that you have to prioritize.
And speaking of fiber, you want to look for foods like apples, red apples, sweet potatoes, and whole oats. Those are good in fiber. That actually help breaks down food and things of that nature.
Yep. And it helps you go too. It helps you go consistently.
Facts.
And easier.
Need your fiber. You need your fiber. You need your fiber.
The other thing, fermented foods are great. If you're into sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, any kind of probiotic stuff, those are actually good. Yogurt is actually good as well if you can consume dairy products.
And to add on that, what's good for the gut lining, soothing the gut lining, is actually broth, doing bone broths.
Bone broth.
That is.
Can I talk about bone broth for a
second? Look, so listen, like I keep telling y'all, we'll be doing this 1 week fast, and I'm gonna tell you something. It is not easy. I'm not gonna act like it's like we'll be knocking this thing out the park all the time. But there's times where we get shining stars, and there's times where it's like our stars is half. You get what I'm saying? But more or less, the wifey be coming up with it, from mushroom soup to carrot soup. Like all liquid though. You get what I'm saying? So you just sip and drink away.
Look, let me tell you. Can I be honest with them for a second?
Yeah,
right now,
in the kitchen.
Right now, we are on our liquid fast. So we're actually hungry.
You see me busting this water down. I'm trying my hardest. Look, in the first episode, if you go back and watch the first episode, we was fasting then. That's actually funny because that every single time it's like we in the middle of this fast. And it's every first Sunday.
Yeah.
So even then I was busting the water down, like put the bottle down, and I'm trying my hardest this time. Like let me what's the word? Domesticated. Yeah, let me
want to be domesticated.
It's the food.
But anyway, so right now we're going through our fast. But I will tell you, at the tail end of the fast, our bodies actually feel really, really better.
Facts.
And that's why we do it. So
Facts.
it's you know, from a mental perspective of just having discipline. So we're giving our body the food it needs. It's not telling us what it needs. When we have like sugar craving and stuff like that.
I was just gonna say that sugar is one of the things that you want to get rid of. But my bad, I didn't cut you, baby.
So we were going to.
My bad. Come on.
All right. So let's talk about bone broth for a minute here. And we'll just talk about a little bit of what we do in our fast, because I think it's gonna help you overall, whether it's gut health, mental, inflammation. It really helps across the board. So what we do with our liquid fast, I try to incorporate as much soups as possible. But one of my favorite is actually the bone broth, and I make it from scratch. Yeah, you'll be drinking that.
Yeah, that bone broth was mad good. But I think my favorite was the mushroom.
Oh,
the mushroom
so
soup.
I made the cream of mushroom. I made a cream of mushroom soup. And what I'll do is, you know, whether it's bone broth, the creamy soups, I'll load it with as much spices and herbs as possible. So, give you an example with the bone broth. I'm adding onions and allspice and pepper and like all of those vegetables. So even though we're drinking actual liquid, it's just infused with all of this good stuff for us.
And I want to say this too. So when you take on a fast like this, you start noticing when you come off it, like you're mindful of what you eat more. It's like
absolutely.
I feel like I'm eating a lot because your body starts readjusting, and then you will start noticing. And this is this little caveat of being healthy. When you start cleaning the body starts recognizing when something wrong enters it.
Absolutely.
And being healthy doesn't mean you do not get under the weather, because there's so many things that can make you get sick. There's spectrums. But the thing is, you don't actually have to go to the doctors to get better. Because if you develop a cold, it could be you wasn't sleeping enough, and when you don't sleep enough, your immune system goes down, and then you can catch a cold. So it's all these other little aspects to where, you know, that can be the cause of you maybe catching a cold or something in that manner. But if you on top of all these things, it's less likely for it to happen.
And I'll say this too, is when it comes to, again, we're not trying to be perfect. And we're never going to tell you to try to be perfect and live in a bubble. Like, we love food. We love food. And we're in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are surrounded by good food. So what we do is we don't try for we don't try to be perfect. We try to be disciplined, and we try to enjoy life. We try to create that kind of balance. So if we know, for example, that we're gonna go out and we're gonna have a big meal, it's a 5-course meal, chances are we're gonna be consuming 3,000-4,000 calories with food and drinks. But on the tail end of it, if we're drinking water and if we're eating right for 6 days, we're not gonna feel bad about indulging for a day, right? So again, you know, it's just that balance that we strike.
And the goal is awareness, because you know what I'm saying, we want, the more people are aware, you know what I'm saying, you can start, you know, gauging your own body and things that work for you and things that don't work for you. You get what I'm saying? So if you're aware, you can say, you know what, I'm eating a whole lot of sugar. But if you're not aware, you're just gonna consume so much sugar. Like, do you guys know a piece of bread is equal to 4 tablespoons of sugar.
Why are you attacking me right now?
My bad.
With that bread.
My
He
bad.
knows I have a problem
Yeah,
with that bread.
Listen, one slice is 4 spoons. And what's crazy is because, you know, when we eat our hamburgers, you get what I'm saying? We put 4 spoons on the bottom, 4 spoons on the top, 8 spoons of sugar with some meat.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. But when you're not aware, you assume so much.
It's
and
true.
the thing is, when things start to break down, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's when you start to break down, it's like, you know, the doctor want to put you on this and the doctor want to put you on that, and it's like some of these things are preventable and some of these things are reversible.
Yep.
If you just change the way you eat.
Absolutely. So I think we vented enough.
Yeah.
I think we vented enough on that.
Listen, don't y'all crucify me if you see me eating a hamburger, you heard? Because I'm actually maintaining. If I know I can handle a hamburger with 8 spoons of sugar, look, I'm gonna eat that hamburger. So don't y'all crucify me when y'all see me.
I think
just know I'm not eating hamburgers
every day, right? And again, on the tail end is there's too much restriction.
Yeah.
Because we've seen some crazy diets out there.
Thanks.
And this is really heartbreaking for me, but there was this I think she was a influencer or fitness something, don't quote me on it, but she actually went on the durian fruit diet for 7 years. She was unrecognizable and she passed because of that restriction. So again, you have to feed your body, not just, you know, to be full, but you have to feed your body the nutrients and minerals it needs.
Facts. And I'm not gonna act as if, because we're not vegans, so you know I don't want you guys.
We have meatless days or weeks sometimes. We'll kind of throw that in.
Because I want to throw this in too. There was a bodybuilder out of, I want to say I think he's from
oh yeah, you were telling me.
Maybe from Binghamton. I can't remember his name. When it come back to me, I'll share with y'all. But he was showing that he ended up going vegan because that was what the thing was, to go healthy. And he went all the way vegan. He cut out all the meats, and he was working out and still training. But he noticed, as he kept training and stuff, he was breaking his bones easy because he wasn't getting the amino acids and the calcium and the protein and stuff that he needed that comes from meat. So listen, do what floats your boat.
Right for you.
Do what floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? It's just we're trying to share information to where you can actually dive in, do your study, and be accountable for yourself, not to us, but for yourself. You have information to weigh your own decisions.
Yep, we just want to give you enough to empower you, and then you make your best decision.
Facts. All right, so let's just talk about a few herbs that you can use, that you probably already have in your kitchen, that can actually help you with the gut. I'm just saying, it's an all-around miracle herb. It's ginger. Yeah, we all love our ginger. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all love our ginger. I know I do. But ginger is a special herb. Why? It's an anti-inflammatory. It also is antibacterial. So it actually helps you fight those bad cells in the body, and also good for helping move food and breaking it down and helping it move through the gut. So it helps you poop as well.
Now we're talking poop. And look here, ginger is one of those things every Jamaican household. Ginger is one of those things every Jamaican household has.
Yeah, well,
my grandmother used to say, go boil ginger tea for anything you need. Any belly ache, any indigestion, any kind of stomach issue, you boil some ginger tea.
Facts. So make sure to start adding more ginger into your diet. That can be very, very good for actually cleaning the gut. And what we're going to show you today, a drink that we're going to show you guys, it involves ginger. So, you know what I mean? Stay tuned, stay locked in.
Alright, another herb that you can and probably should have in your backyard is the peppermint. The peppermint is great if you have cramping or any kind of bloating. It helps ease the digestion. Any kind of digestive issues, it helps relax those muscles and give you some kind of relief. The one caveat I'll say is if you have acid reflux, it actually might make it worse because it does relax the esophagus. So just, you know, be mindful of that.
Thanks. Another good herb will be guava leaf. If you want, like for diarrhea, guava leaf is good for diarrhea. And you also can take cerci to cleanse the blood, and you can take cerci to cleanse the gut as well.
Yep.
Also, to top it off, in the last and not least, fever grass is good for soothing the digestive system and your nerves.
Yep.
All right, listen, on that note, man, listen, we're going to go ahead and get this juicer out, and we're going to go ahead and make this drink so you guys can start resetting your gut, and I promise you, you're going to love this one.
Yep, and it's one of our favorites,
Yeah.
okay? So if you try it, please try it. Let us know what you think, and I know it's going to do wonders for you.
Facts. Go ahead, let's get started. All right, yo, so what's up, y'all? We got the fruit out. I'm gonna go through the fruit as my wife cut.
Chop.
I'm gonna put it in here. But just to kind of give you a brief rundown. So what we're gonna do to make this drink, we're gonna use red apples, green apples for green apples and astringent, red ones for hydration. We're gonna use some cucumbers, and we're gonna use some celery for hydration as well. And then what we're gonna use some ginger. We spoke about that earlier. Then we're gonna use some pineapple because this is good for cleansing the gut.
And the parasites.
Yes, and it's also a parasite killer. So this drink right here, and then we got a lime also. And then we're gonna use some parsley. Parsley is good for detoxing. It's probably one of the best herbs to detox metals out the blood. We're gonna go ahead and get all this stuff cut up. As my wife cut, I'm gonna put it in the drink. We're gonna show you the drink when it's all finished. So let's get into it.
One of the things you'll notice is that I'm not chopping them small because we invested in one of our favorite juicers. Because when we started juicing earlier, maybe about 3-4 years ago, we actually we got one of those simple juicers, and it took a ton of time to clean, and it was so annoying.
Thanks.
But because now we're juicing on a regular, it just made more sense for us to upgrade, and we got this beauty.
So beast, you are.
This bad boy juices anything. I really believe it.
Beast.
So the good thing about it is that I don't have to chop these very small. And it works really well.
Oh, I do want to just give you guys an overview of what we're doing here. So you have 4 green apples, 4 red apples. You have a handful of parsley. You have 2 cucumbers. You have maybe 2 strains of celery. And then we're gonna cut this pineapple up. I'm gonna put the whole pineapple in. And that's the kind of the recipe. And then one
got some
thumb with ginger.
No, I love ginger, so I know Bobby says a thumb. Got a little more than got a big thumb. No, there's no rhyme or reason which red or green apple you get. I just get whatever's in season.
Oh, I'll recommend Honey Crisp Red.
It's a quick rough chop. So it's nice and green now because we use most of the green stuff, but it's going to come out to a nice plate. And one of my absolute favorite feature of this juicer it is super easy to clean.
Facts. You can rinse all pieces.
Just literally, it's easy to pull apart. It's easy to break apart. You spray it off. Most of, not all, but most of the components can go right in the dishwasher, and it's so easy.
I'm gonna show you guys. So this is all the pulp. Now, with certain juices, because this right here holds all the fiber. So with this, sometime what you can do is you can take this, put it in the actual blender. We have a blender over there, and you can actually mix your juice with the blender to actually add your fiber back into your drink.
Or one thing that I plan to do with this pulp here is I'm actually gonna add it to our bone broth, because it's all good stuff here. So I'm gonna add it to our bone broth soup, and just get that additional benefit and flavor.
Look at that.
Cheers. That is good. That is really good. That's really good.
That's good.
Well, I want to thank y'all for sticking with us today. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Roots and Remedies.
Thanks.
Today we had a blast talking about gut health.
Thanks.
And what it is, what it isn't, how you can improve your gut health, and of course, thanks for hanging around while we make this juice for you.
Facts. And also make sure to visit us at jamrocknaturals.com and come back next week to visit us. Also, we want to take some time and thank Rethink TV for having us. Everybody that's showing love and showing support, make sure to visit us at jamrocknaturals.com. We actually got an anniversary special we're going to be running soon, where you guys can get some free products, some free herbal products, and natural products as well. On that note, man, look, stay tuned, stay locked in, put God first, you heard?
Cheers.
Peace.